Welcome to the GS Trophy. I've only gone and made the finals. I'm up here in South Wales near the Brecon Beacons at the BMW Off-Road Skills Centre, and today is the UK Qualifier for the GS Trophy. It's my first time doing anything like this. I practiced for 10 minutes in the garden and I'm not really sure what to expect, but the briefing's done and I'm about to head out. I am Breen group, so today I'm doing Walters Arena, which is kind of the main bulk of the challenges. Again, I don't really know what to expect, but yeah, it starts soon, so let's get on the bike and go. Let's do this. It's 10 to 9. This is my first session and it's the Walters Arena loop. I've just been given a scorecard. I've got 7 challenges to do today. I think just a little bit of nice riding to reach them. I guess this is the first one already. Here we go. Alright, first challenge. Pretty straightforward. Jump on this 1250 GS, accelerate, turn around at the end, stop in this box, do it in under 12 seconds.
This first challenge is like a warm-up to the event. It's nice and easy, straightforward. You can put your foot down, and as long as you do it in under 12 seconds, you get the best score, which is 0, and that's exactly what I got. So off to a good start.
Okay. So I think challenge 2 is the no throttle challenge. Basically, they've disconnected the throttle from the engine, so you can't rev, you're just idling, and you've got to get around the track as fast as you can.
On your marks, get set, go.
Before I started each challenge, I made sure to watch other people for a while until I could clearly see someone that was a lot faster and someone that was slower, and try and figure out what they're doing differently. Because the bike's throttle is disconnected and you're relying mostly on good clutch control and pushing the bike, I made sure to run as far and as fast as I could before I jumped on so I could get the highest speed possible. Then the biggest secret to this challenge, in my opinion, is changing up the gears. So you can see here I go first to second and even to third gear, so I get the bike rolling as fast as I can while ticking over. That was really the only way, I think, to get a good time on this challenge. And finally, get your foot in the right place on the stand before you come to a stop so you can kick it down and jump off immediately. That avoids losing precious seconds like this.
Challenge done. I got a time of 47 seconds.
While I was told 47 seconds was quite a good time, I actually scored 4 out of 5 points, which is not great considering 0 is the best on each challenge. Challenge 3 was a trials challenge, with the course being a series of tight corners laid out along a steep bank.
Go, go, go.
The further you get, the better score you get. I watched a lot of guys do this challenge, and only one person I saw finish the whole course, and that was this guy.
Get as far as you can through the course without putting your foot down. Let's go.
For this challenge, I studied the course quite carefully by walking it a few times beforehand and just made sure to take each corner as wide as possible, going slow and steady the entire time, keeping my weight on the outside peg and trying to use the rear brake.
Right, I've walked this track, so I'm going this way. Nice, 0.
For challenge 4, we had to run to the bike, lift it up, turn the engine on, then walk with it on one side to the first set of tyres. We then had to stop the bike, swap to the other side and walk to the next set of tyres. At this point, we had to jump on the bike, ride around the tyre at the end, and get back to where we started as quickly as possible. There was quite a long queue at this station, so I watched a lot of people do the challenge before I did. I also spent some time talking with the marshals to make sure I understood the rules clearly. So here, I actually used the clutch and the engine to move the bike along rather than trying to push it. Then after I changed sides and ran with the bike, I jumped on without stopping. At that point, I was able to ride the bike back as quickly as I could. And the same as the last challenge, I got my heel on the side stand to kick it down as soon as the bike stopped. So on this challenge, I scored a pretty decent 2 points.
Right, the next one is the tennis ball challenge. You've got to ride around and you've got to pick up the balls from the cones and then drop them in the tyres and the trophy glass, no feet down.
Also, you only had up to 45 seconds to do this challenge. After watching some other people, I decided the best and safest option would be to pick up 2 balls at a time with my throttle hand before dropping those in the tyres. What I didn't think about is that tennis balls bounce. As you can see, one of those just bounced straight back out. But I carried on, I picked up 2 more balls, my speed was good, my line was good, but unfortunately, when I dropped those in, they bounced back out again as well. Now, a bit annoyed at that result and never one to quit, I tried to pick up one of the balls directly off the floor and I almost did it, but not quite. So in the end, I only actually got 2 balls in the tyres, meaning I got 3 points. Yeah, the points are a bit confusing here. Just remember that 0 is the best, and on this challenge, 5 is the worst. Challenge 6 is another trials challenge with some very tight turns on some difficult surfaces. And you get 1 point for every time you put your foot on the floor.
Alright, trials challenge. Let's go. Slow and steady, no feet down.
A schoolboy error of grabbing the front brake mid-turn meant I dropped the bike on the first corner. This results in maximum points for the challenge, and frustratingly, on this one only, maximum points was 10 instead of 5. I carried on anyway to see what the rest of the course was like and to get some practice in, but it turns out this may be one of my weaker sides of riding because I put my foot down a few more times and I even dropped the bike again.
I made a mare of this.
I got the bike going again and I finished the course, but overall very frustrated with 10 points on this challenge.
Right, I just did the trials challenge and cocked it right up. Dropped the bike twice. That is harder than it looks. Those corners are like, you have to have the bars locked for sure to get around them. And it's gravelly and muddy. But we've got to go around twice, so I'm running out of time. I've got to get to the next station.
That's right, all of the challenges must be completed twice, so I now had a nice gravel road ride back to the main arena for the last challenge to complete my first loop.
What a beautiful day though for this. I mean, it is a baking waiting around for your challenge to start, but better that than the Welsh rain, that's for sure. And we are back at the arena. Right, let's find the next challenge quick. So the final challenge back at the base is a time challenge around the track. And I'm just walking it now. I think that's probably the best tip I could give, is for every challenge, take your time to watch people and walk the circuit, so it's not a surprise, because you don't get no practice goes.
So challenge 7 was the special stage around a sort of mini enduro / motocross circuit, and one I was really looking forward to. Fastest time equals lowest score. Aside from making sure I walked the track, the only little trick I used here was to start in second gear, meaning I didn't have to shift the whole way around the circuit. I felt pretty good on this challenge because I have a background riding downhill mountain bikes and also a little bit of racing of small pit bikes. So my bike handling is pretty good and I don't mind going fast. Although that's not to say it was the cleanest run ever. I almost dropped it on this corner. I also almost stalled it, but I managed to keep it upright, managed to keep it going. Felt like I carried pretty good pace all the way around, nearly binned it again at the end. and over the line for a good time, and one of the few people that scored a 0 on that challenge.
Absolutely smashed that challenge. Third person of the day to go around 0 points. I've got to leg it to the next ones. Still got to go around the whole thing again in like an hour. It's taken 3 hours to do the first round, so let's get on it. Alright, straight to the next challenge.
Yeah, so while your overall time isn't a factor and is not recorded, you obviously have to finish all of the challenges twice before the next session starts in the afternoon. So I absolutely flew around the arena trying to complete all the challenges again within just 1 hour left. The first challenge, straightforward, I got another clean 0 points. The second challenge, I managed to find some more time with a better start and changing gears a bit sooner to give me an improved score of 0 for that challenge. And also, surprisingly, I got
40, that's the best score of the day.
Get in! Cheers guys.
I jumped on my bike and raced towards the next 4 challenges, and luckily there were no queues, so I managed to get them done pretty quickly.
Alright, that's the 4 at this station done. I did pretty well. I got a 0 again on the trials one. The only person to get 0 twice today, so chuff for that. I improved my score to a 1 on the pushing bike handling one. I got 4 tennis balls in the thing this time, but I stalled and dropped it again on the trial section, so that's 2 10s, which sucks. Right, now I've got to whiz back to the centre and do the final challenge one more time.
I continued racing around the circuit, and I got back to Walters Arena pretty much bang on the cut-off time. So I quickly completed the last stage, which I really enjoyed, and again I managed to get a 0 on that challenge.
I think it's a clean, I think I was.
Awesome. Alright, that's me done for the first session. That's all the challenges done. 7 challenges, done twice. Overall, I'm pretty chuffed with my scores. On some of the challenges, I got fastest time and 2 clears. But sadly, on the trials challenge, I got 2 10s because I dropped the bike on both of them. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with what I did, but let's see if it's enough for the final. Alright, I've got about 20 minutes for lunch, and then I've got to head on the road ride by 10 to 1. Okay, next challenge. It is a road ride called the Afan Loop. I've got a series of instructions to follow. I've zeroed my trip meter, and as I reach certain distances, I've got to take a direction. And because I don't have a map holder here, I've taken a picture on my phone and I'm doing it that way. So 2 miles and then turn left. So this is the first stop, just as an example. The question is, at what time was Benefice, Praise and Holy Communion? And then right at the stop, there is a sign up there that tells you exactly what the answer is. So, done. Next one. Absolutely beautiful riding. Look at this, right through the Brecon beacons, and what a day, what a day! Alright, that is the Afan Loop road section done, and that's pretty much the end of my day. So that took a solid 3.5 hours or so, and I reckon we did maybe 70 or 80 miles and 6 or 7 questions, and there was one challenge where we had to walk around a little centre and find some clues and answer some questions as a team. Yeah, really good fun, really nice roads, really nice riding, all round really good day, but I'm absolutely exhausted. Oh, done, knackered. Priorities now. Let's go chill. Morning, day 2 at the GS Trophy Qualifier here in South Wales. This morning I am doing my 3rd and final session, which is the Brecon Loop. So I'm just going to go get my bike, pick up my road book and get on the road. Okay. Alright, this is the start of the Brecon Beacons loop. I've got my road book loaded up on my phone, as I did yesterday, and I'm riding with Mark, who I've been camping next to this weekend. Yeah, it feels good to be on the bike again. I must admit, I'm feeling a little bit bruised and battered after yesterday. achy legs. So the Brecon Loop is actually another road route through the Brecon Beacons, but with optional off-road sections. A few miles to the first stop now. First stop today is at this pub for the BMW Rider Training Challenge. No idea what to expect, so let's pull up and find out. Okay.
Challenge 8, the final challenge for me, and one that's designed to really test your low speed riding ability. The course was broken up into 4 main sections, and in each one of those you got a point added for every time you put your foot down, you hit a cone, or you stand up. And for this last one, a point if you drop the egg, and a maximum of 10 points if you drop the bike. My thought here was to not go too slowly and use the momentum of the bike to stay upright, and trying to use the throttle, the clutch and the rear brake to keep the speed under control. But I slightly lost my balance and potentially dabbed the front brake, and I had to put my foot down in this section for 1 point. So into the slalom, and I'd watched a few other people, so I had quite a good line through here. I didn't hit any cones, and I just got my wheel into the next section before I put my foot down at the end. Finally, the hardest section of all, in my opinion, the egg and spoon. Going at such slow speeds with one hand through those tight turns. Yeah, I just went over the cone, so 1 point on that section as well. For just 2 points overall on that challenge.
Alright, on to the next challenge. That one was good. It was a real slow speed bike handling challenge. Really tight turns to get around. Oh, beautiful road. Here we go. Come on. Wet, loose rocks. Nice section. And that's the Brecon Loop done for me. It pissed it down for the last half an hour or so, so the cameras had to go away and the waterproofs had to come out. The loop took maybe just over 4 hours. Really nice riding. So that's pretty much it now. I'm gonna park up, sort out my gear, and then hopefully stay and watch the finals.
The time had come to find out who had made the top 10 and would ride in the finals.
5th, Aaron Coles. 4th, Matthew Shields. 3rd, Sam Dawson. 2nd, Mark Godsall. 1st, Stephen Ferguson.
I've only gone and made the finals, 4th place. I had no idea that would happen, so I've not walked the track. So I'm running around it now, seeing what I got to ride around in the next couple hours. Fucking get in there though, come on!
The finals course was just on another level. It strung together a whole series of different challenges all around the main arena, with this particularly challenging long trial section where riders had to wrestle a 1250 GS through a rock garden and around a set of pallets. And not only is this whole course done as quickly as you can with fastest time winning, but there are penalties along the way, such as every time you put your foot down on this trials section. The stakes could not have been higher, with the top 3 riders winning a place on the UK team at the International GS Trophy in Namibia. It was time for me to give it everything I had.
Come on, keep it together. Just keep it upright. Don't be a hero. Don't bin it. Back brake, not front brake. Get off the front brake.
The finals run started with an enduro section with a tight track winding its way through the woods on a loose, muddy surface.
Come on, keep it up.
I went quite well round this bit and I felt pretty fast, but it wasn't without a few dramas along the way. But it felt good to finish that section clean and still have the bike on 2 wheels. The track came back out into the main arena where I had to pick up a tennis ball off of a cone, ride carefully without putting my foot down and put the ball on another cone, which I managed to do successfully. Next up was the difficult trial section, which I, as a smaller rider, was dreading. But I had a really good start until a rock caught the gear lever and knocked me into neutral. But I got it back in gear, I got going again, and somehow I absolutely flew through this section without taking another dab. I was absolutely buzzing, and I think this had a huge impact on my final time. Next was a straightforward slalom, but at the end we had to perform an elephant turn, which I have never done, especially on a bike this big, so unfortunately I dropped it. But so did a lot of other people, so I didn't feel too bad. I picked it up, got on the bike, and then unfortunately the electronics had an error, so I had to turn the ignition on, back on again, start the bike before I could get going. From that point on, everything was going pretty smoothly. I got around this corner quick, I was carrying good pace over these logs and through these beams. I flew around this corner, nearly lost it on the exit, then up onto this platform where we had to stop dead, ride over this beam and tyres, stop dead again, and then continue. Just a few simple flat turns left, but somehow I over-egged it and I rode into the bank and flipped off the bike. So again, I had to pick it up, I had to turn the ignition off, start the bike, get going again, finish the course. But after that second fall, I really wasn't sure I'd done enough to make the top 3. Finally, a skid over the line where I did not manage to knock the ball off the cone.
Well, I did what I could. It was messy, some fast bits, so I don't know, a lot of penalties probably. Let's see.
To end a fantastic weekend, we all say a huge thank you to the whole team at the Off-Road Skills Centre. And so it was time for the winners to be announced. As the top 10 were read out in reverse order, I was an absolute bag of nerves. But we got to 4th place and I still hadn't heard my name.
This one hurts me a lot. Rob breathing.
Unless I wasn't paying attention, this could only mean one thing.
In 3rd place, Matthew Shields. Second, Stephen Ferguson. you. You're all off to Namibia to represent
What just happened? I am shocked, to be honest. I thought I could do okay here, but I had no idea I'd actually make it to the top 3. So I'm absolutely buzzing, and it's not really sunk in yet. I can't wait to head to Namibia. Yeah, I left it all out there, and somehow it paid off. See you in Namibia.